Hey guys, it's YouTube and America's foremost student machinist, Kimberzelik. Thank you all for coming along. Yesterday, January 19th, I blew up my lathe, the Pratt Whitney Model B 12 by 30. I blew up the feed. It was making a lot of bad noises. I was using the direction lever while the machine was turning, and that's acceptable at specific RPMs. But I was far exceeded that acceptable speed and jammed it into gear. I was doing some multi-index threading, multi-thread threading, and I was using that lever a lot, and I took it out of back gear. I was running at 490 RPM, cleaning some pieces up, and I reached over and hit that lever, and boom. So let me show you what we're talking about. So we're going to move it's fine right there. Someone had asked me about my thread dial. So there's one. Let's go forward. There's one. There's A, 2, B, and so on. Now some lathes will have numbers with hash marks in between, so there is a space. So this is the feed direction lever, and it says here, caution, do not engage or reverse clutch lever with spindle running above 322 RPMs. Above this speed, engage clutch lever before starting the spindle. Bigger than life, I certainly knew that. So you engage there. There's reverse. And what's happening here that is ultimately turning this gear. It's not a round gear, and this shaft goes all the way through the headstock and actually comes out right here, and you took that screw out and you screw in your draw hammer, slide hammer, and you can pull that whole axle or whole, we'll just call it an axle, and so that's the origins of that. How exactly the system works, let me get this set up for you. Okay, right now I have it in, it's in neither forward or reverse, it's in a neutral position, and this is turning the spindle, and I'm actually going the wrong direction. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going forward. So, take a note of this flat surface there, and let me bring this other surface around, the corresponding. Okay, so now you can see this sticking out here, and when I engage reverse drive, which I will do, give me a moment. So, I think you saw that. Let me get it back. Okay, here it comes. Now I'll disengage. I'll go to forward. Now you're not going to see the forward behavior because I'm just not sure if you're seeing that or not. There's another situation like this further up into the headstock, and that's where the forward feed lies. Now initially I was thinking I might have lost these dogs. Those are the ones that I replaced. They seem to be just fine. At least this one does. So I believe there's some linkage between this shaft and whatever levers activate that feed direction beyond this shaft, between this shaft and the spindle. So we'll get in there and look. There's a casting wall forward of this gear. So I can take this piece off, but there's a solid casting wall here. This gear comes off and it allows you to, and then there's a hole there. This gear passes in and out of that wall. So once I take all this off, we'll be able to pull this gear and we'll be able to see what's going on in there and hopefully be able to fix it from that position and not have to replace the dog on the feed gear. I suspect that feed gear dog is going to be just fine, and there's something else busted that is near connection to this shaft, which I mean, obviously the feed direction lever, you know, definitely activates this shaft, as I will demonstrate here. So that's forward, neutral, reverse. And that shaft runs from here all the way through to the back there. So that's that. Yeah, we'll need to get inside there and take a look at things. Show you this from another angle. Here and here. Okay, well, that's that. There is a fancy multi-start thread inside here, a very, very coarse thread, like 2 threads per inch, something crazy. This is my quick change, my gearbox. Let's get the flashlight in here. You see it ascending gears. And activating this lever out here. And that's activated. So a little of the inner workings there. I think I have a bearing in here I need to address. Well, I know I do. So I can't remember if I put new belts on this or not. Seems like I bought a matching set of belts. I'm not. Well, we'll see. Well, we'll bring you back and we will start taking this apart. We'll start with the change gears here. This gear here is riding along. It's not hooked up. It's not running anywhere. This is an extra gear, and it is used for 72, 69. It is used for 72 threads per inch. No, 11 and a half. I think it's used for 11 and a half threads per inch. That's what it was. When I got this machine, this gear was laying down in the housing, and I somehow, I can't imagine how I did it. Oh, when I first got it, so I said that gear has to be attached. So I took this collar off, and I put this collar on the back of this gear, and I was able to hook this gear up and have 4 gears running, which was crazy. And like I mentioned in other videos, when I first got this, I had no idea what any of this meant. I suspected this was 12 threads per inch and so on. But when I tried 12 threads per inch, I was getting 18 or something different. And the reason was I had this gear running in the gear train, and it didn't belong in the gear train. I put the word out on YouTube to find out what the problem was, and who was it? I know who it was. I can't think of his name right now, but come on, it's so frustrating when you have those brain farts. Hold on. Okay. It was Doozer. Doozer's Workshop, I think his channel is. But Doozer and everybody was telling me about, number of teeth on the gears and this and that. And Doozer said, send me a picture of your gear train. And he said, what's that? Right away he said, pull that gear off. Where'd that come from? And got me straightened out. It's actually pretty comical because when I first got this machine, I had it out in the main part of my garage, and I was showing everybody on camera, and I was pointing out, shift lever. This is my forward drive. I was pointing out all the features of the machine. Had everything I said was incorrect. But Doozer set me straight. Check his channel out. I kind of get the impression he's a collector of fine old steel, of old machines, and bringing them back to precision. So this is the banjo. This allows you to adjust, to change gears, rearrange them, and make everything engage. So we'll get this gear off. We'll take this nut off the banjo and probably just twist the whole banjo out of the way. Remove this plate, remove this cap here first. And then remove this plate. And that'll give us our first look into, or second look, I guess, into this cavity. So, start taking this homemade screw I put in there off. And let's see where my Allen pieces are at. And we'll come back and we'll break this thing. We'll break this thing down.